interesting, just as Malou mentioned, how many of these things dovetail with the policy purposes of the private fund advisor rules. So for example, hedge clauses and savings clauses, a big part of the controversy over the proposed private fund advisor rule, we call the PFA rule, was statements about how it would impact the standard of care for investment advisors to private funds, and what did the language mean as guidance in the proposal that was not in the adopting release for that rule. So that was a huge part of transitioning from a proposed rule to a final rule, was getting over that hurdle and how to handle the voluminous comments the SEC received on that topic. And so we even saw a hedge clause case against a private fund advisor come out very recently, and it did quote significant language from the fund offering documents to kind of give the industry some guidance on, okay, this is the type of language that is an impermissible hedge clause that the SEC will go after because investors might find it confusing. A savings clause is something that counteracts the hedge clause and explicitly states, well, the hedge clause is not taking away any rights or any obligations the advisor has to adhere to its federal fiduciary duty under the Advisors Act. So that's what a savings clause is, and the SEC is focused on looking for that savings clause language, especially when it comes to retail investors and retail clients. The SEC is very focused on that bifurcated scenario of use of a hedge clause and a savings clause is treated very differently in the retail sphere than it is in the sophisticated private fund investor sphere. So that's something you'll notice as you look through enforcement actions. CCM was another one that came out, I think, a couple years ago. And then there was a very recent case, I think it was ClearPath, that came out a few weeks ago on this topic.